Koth halaw is a King of the Hill map made using the Valve Hammer editor for the Valve game Team Fortress 2. It was made with the pre-made Team Fortress 2 textures and models, as well as some custom content made by the community. It was originally a personal project to test my skills in an engine that I had no prior experience in and to see how fast I could learn it. However, it has developed the potential to be considered as part of a community update while providing a practical example for game balance, optimization, and catering to pre-existing game mechanics. My design process started with the map's theme, goal, and layout. The theme of the map was quickly decided to be Mayan, as there is a community project dedicated to building custom content around this idea. I began to draw out some rough ideas of interesting layouts that involve this concept after researching some Mayan architecture. Eventually, I decided that the structure of the ancient Mayan ball game would be an interesting layout for the midpoint, and thus the name of the map is the word for this kind of court. I stuck with the idea that there had to be at least 3 ways to get to the point to give the players options. Class balance involves making a map that considers each class's weapons, abilities, and weaknesses. It gives each class a role, and tries to prevent certain classes from having overpowered advantages or strategies. I studied a post Valve made on the TF2 blog that consisted of them going through the process of creating a map. A key point that I took away from this was that height variation is an important concept. A flat map would have all the gameplay on a singular plane, and would be boring for the players with no variations. Higher ground usually gives a player an advantage over others that are below them. I made sure that my map had plenty of opportunities for the players to attack from above if they positioned themselves strategically. The balancing factor in this case is that the control point is one of the lowest locations on the map. In order to have point control, most classes will have to physically block the point and leave the advantage of these high places. Because the Mayan theme consists of mostly custom assets that haven't been made yet, I had to get crafty and include some other elements to shape my level. I decided that from a story perspective that the Mayan ruins were actually a location of a secret weapons smuggling facility run by the game's respective companies of Red and Blue. Not only would this allow me to put more traditional Team Fortress 2 props in the scene, such as crates or barricades, but it would also help by including color variations on each side of the map. This is an important part of helping the player identify which side of the map that they are currently on. The 9 playable classes of TF2 are a central focus of the game, with each class possessing specific abilities to aid in the battle. The space that they fight in has to reflect this in order to give the players a fun experience while playing as any class on the map. The Scout has the ability to perform a variety of double jumps, so I've created several unique paths that he can use to approach from unexpected angles. The Soldier has the ability to rocket jump to move around the map quickly. The level is filled with vertical platforms that the Soldier can reach by using this technique to get a height advantage over enemies. The Pyro can utilize the alternate routes on the sides of the map to sneak into enemy territory and flank them from the sides. The Demo Man has the ability to sticky jump to reach new heights and move much quicker. The skybox on the map was intentionally placed high up so that demos will not hit it and lose momentum while jumping. The Heavy Weapons Guy's abilities allow him to excel in area denial and defense. The close quarter choke points that exist between the spawn areas and open midpoint allow the Heavy to mow down incoming enemies and force them to take other routes. The Engineer can build sentry guns around the map. However, I have restricted some surfaces by using a brush entity called Funk No Build. This is done to balance play and prevent the sentry from being placed in locations that aren't fair. It can also prevent the Engineer from placing the sentry on sloped geometry. The Medic has the ability to provide invulnerability for a brief time to himself and an ally. I wanted to give the Medic and his patient multiple routes to push from in order to make the most of his ability when he uses it to catch his enemies off guard. The Sniper has an ability to scope in on his rifle to do massive damage with headshots. As such, sightlines are very important. The large amount of open area in the middle of the map with high perches on the sides allows snipers to shoot down at incoming enemies, forcing them to avoid a direct approach and use my alternate routes or some of the cover provided. The Spy attempts to get behind the enemy while invisible to do the most damage and get enemy picks. The various interconnecting routes of my map are designed to have areas that the spy can hide in to wait for the enemy to pass, and then strike while they're unaware. There are also health and ammo packs scattered around the map, placed strategically, so that spies can stay alive and invisible until the moment to strike arrives. I've already tested this map with several people in the community, and I've gotten some good feedback. Future testing will hopefully lead to even better iterations of the map that might even be considered to become part of the official game one day. I'm confident that I can continue to optimize Koth Halaw to get it to that point and give the TF2 community one more map to enjoy. Thanks for watching.